to my channel. Today I am going to watercolor a tree, specifically a wishing tree. This wishing tree is found in Sekinchan, which is a small village with fishing and paddy cultivation as its primary industry. There are many landmarks there, famous landmarks there. One of which is a paddy field, and another one is nonetheless this wishing tree that I'm gonna paint. Right now I'm just seeing some pictures to just get a better idea of what I'm painting. So this wishing tree is specifically called the sekinchan wishing tree. This is an old looming tree which has strands of red ribbons hanging on its branches. People usually write on these red ribbons and tie a coin to it and then throw it onto the tree. It is said that the higher you threw it, the more likely your wish will come true. Okay, enough of what this tree is, let's go back to my painting. So right now I just got out my watercolor and mixed a few variations of green, and I'm gonna try to replicate the shape of the tree. I didn't really manage to replicate it correctly, but it still works. It's still there. We get the idea. It still looks like the tree. Continue painting this tree by just dabbing my brush onto the tree, just like dab 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 dab, like little circles over there. And then obviously first start with the darker colors and then go on top with the lighter ones. So one mistake I did for this painting is that I didn't draw the sky or like the land first, like, if that makes sense, like the background, the background, like the sky and the ground, which you will see I struggled to draw later. That was one of the struggles I had with painting this. Another struggle I had was painting the branch, because again I forgotten to paint it before I covered it with leaves, so it looks pretty ugly. Now you can see that I already went over the darker layer of green with some light green. This gives it a very 3D effect and makes it look more real, even though it doesn't look real, but it still looks more real. Right now I'm really trying to replicate the shape of the tree. And I can't do it because my tree is more like rectangular. Theirs is also rectangular, but mine is more to like the side than taller, because my page is small and I can't make it that tall. Now I'm gonna start doing the red strands of ribbon. I'm just gonna do it randomly hanging there. And again, like the tree, I'm trying to replicate where the ribbons are being placed. I didn't exactly replicate it correctly, but I think it's better replicated than the tree. As you can see now, I am painting the bark of the tree. I stopped painting the strands of ribbons because I needed to paint the bark of the tree first. If not, it's gonna end up really hard to paint the bark of the tree. This is when I realized that actually the bark of the tree was too brown and dark. The real tree looks more gray and lighter, so I'm just gonna go correct the color. I also struggled to draw the branches because I can't really draw on top of the leaves. but then I can't really draw under them either. So that was definitely a challenge. Then I ended up drawing all the branch that I wanted. No, I didn't draw most of the branch. Anyways, enough of the bark, branch, whatever the woody part of the tree. I'm back to drawing the ribbons. I just slowly build up all the ribbons because the ribbons on the tree was built up for like what, 40 more 100 years? I don't know. As long as the tree existed, I guess. But mine, I did it in 10 minutes. That's crazy, right? Okay. Jokes aside, I realized that the color of the bark of the tree and the branches is really too dark. So I decided to mix another color, go in and lighten it, and it was really hard to do that because as you can see there are already many red strings there. So I did the best I could. I didn't really cover the whole branch, but I'm just gonna move on to coloring like this pot. It's not really a pot, but like a circle of bricks around the tree. Since it's bricks, I need to make different red colors of brick colors. Yeah, whatever those colors are called, to paint it. I painted it slowly, but I really liked how it turned out, especially when I used my white gel pen to outline it. It really gave it a very nice touch that a black gel pen can't achieve. Now finally, it's time for me to make the sign. I already sketched out the sign, and so now I need to paint it white because the sign is white with some Chinese wording and English wording and some hearts on it. This is the hard part, painting it white, because I need to paint over the red part, the brick part, which is pretty hard as the brick will mix with the water on my watercolor brush and it will create like this brownish, really light brown color on my sign, which I don't like. I want it to be pure white. So after many layers that you guys did not see, it is finally complete to the best I could. As you guys can see, I also added like a floor, I don't know what is it called, like a line in the middle to symbolize like the ground so that it doesn't look like my tree is floating. Anyways, let's not talk about that now. What we need to do now is actually paint on the wordings. So now I will slowly paint it on because I'm not so good at writing Chinese wordings. So let's just slowly paint it on and hope I don't mess up, because if I were to paint over it, it will take another 1,000 layers. I was struggling a bit because I was running out of space. I still made it work and wrote the English word thing on top. As you could see, I also struggled a bit with drawing the heart, but never mind, I quickly fixed that just now. Now I'm just gonna go in with the final touches for this ground, I guess you can say. Let's just call that ground. and now I'm gonna go in for the sky. For the sky, I needed it to look very like pale and very light, because I don't want, because if not, the sky is kind of taking over, and this is not about the sky or the scenery, it's about the tree. So to achieve that, I added a lot of water to my watercolor and a lot of white to my watercolor. Another thing I did to achieve that was also take a bit of tissue and just dab. Now I'm just trying to fit in the light blue in some of the tiny little holes that you can see in between the red ribbons, tree leaves, and stuff like that. So a little bit on finishing touches and making sure that the red will still be vibrant even with the blue sky kind of interfering with it. So now that we are done with the final touches, on to the reveal.